I mean, in the fight, get the fuck back. Them get the fuck back just met me having one. So, thank God.
And I guess, I mean, a win over him, I mean, what does that do for you think, right now in this division? I mean, does it help you to call some people out, or does it just feel good to get another knockout?
It'd be nice to be sitting with a number, but if I don't, it's okay. I had a good time in there. When I was in doubt, I pivot out. Shout out to D. My boy Cowboy talked my ear off before I went out there, got me back calm because I was feeling some type of way. So overall, it just feels good to get a dub with the team and shit. If you guys know the crew that's out there with me, they've been there with me since Contender Series and since my first UFC fight. So, and even on local level. So, just feels good to get a dub with the squad and shit. Feels good to be back on top.
And obviously the stoppage was right, but obviously Ponzinibbio, when he got up, he seemed a little bit upset. Did you get a chance to talk with him afterwards?
Man, look, shout out to Ponzinibbio, a tough guy, vet in the game and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he was definitely out of there, and I was a little mad at him because I kept asking him if he smelled weed, and he wouldn't answer me. So, shit, fuck it.
And then at the end, you called out Jorge. You wanted that BMF belt, but what happened this week? What was the genesis of that, and why the craziness?
If you asked me that question in front of Dana, what would he say?
He'd say not to ask about it.
All right.
So that was before the fight. He didn't want to break up this fight.
Well, you know what? When he's ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it.
When Jorge's ready to talk about it, or when Dana's ready to talk about it?
When Dana's ready to talk about it. Jorge is not my boss. Dana is.
But then you called him out. So is that what you want next, or you just want to get back in there?
I take whatever they give me next. But we all know that if Jorge loses this fight, he's probably going to retire. But if he doesn't retire, and you guys sit up here and think about who's the next person to hold a BMF belt. I mean, I do a lot of badass shit, you know what I mean? Whether it's a carjacking, and I stop that, whether it's 18-wheeler flipped over and me pulling a guy out, whether it's somebody whipping out a pistol at a sushi bar, you know what I mean? Whether it's somebody on 7th Street trying to pop some shit and me popping shit back. I mean, whatever the case may be, I'm down for it, you know what I mean? So if it's gangster, I do gangster well. If it's respectful, I do respectful well. If it's professional, I don't always do that good, but fuck it. You know what I mean? I just think I do everything better than George, so why not?
If it doesn't go his way and he does lay the gloves down and he does retire, is there respect with you for him, or is for Jorge, or do you just not even want to think about him because you wouldn't get a fight, or do you have respect for his career and what he's done if he does walk?
Everything that he did before he started sucker punching people, I was a huge fan of. I was a big fan of Jorge Masvidal before he started doing all this bullshit, but after that, I just kind of lost taste of it, and then the lies. He's clout chasing. Bro, I don't really care about clout. I want your BMF belt, and that's it. Simple as that.
Awesome. Congrats, Kevin.
Thank you, brother.
Mr. Holland over here.
How you doing,
David Power, congratulations on the big win. What it seemed like is you were a lot more comfortable in there. It just seemed like you were able to let your creativity show. You looked a lot more loose as you're watching the TV and seeing George fight, but nevertheless, you looked so comfortable in there. What was it like to get your glow back to feel that comfortable and to actually go out there and just do your thing?
I think I was comfortable in the Wonderboy fight. I think I got uncomfortable after I broke my hand. So to correct you a little bit, I think I'm always comfortable in the cage. I have a lot of cage fights, so. What's your name again?
David.
Yeah. Your turn, bro.
How was your hand going into this fight?
It was. I thought it was great until I put those little gloves on. It didn't feel too good. So I think I need a couple more months of some smart recovery and stuff like that before I jump back inside the cage. So international fight week probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, but shit. Honestly, I'd probably fight in a month if it was Michael Chiesa.
And I saw, obviously, you hopped over the cage and spoke to Dana White. What did you exactly say to him?
I said, next time, can I please talk a little bit more at the press conference? I said, I love you, right? Let's go get some new sneakers. Then I said, what's up, Mr. President? Then I hopped back over. Then I looked back and was like, oh, shit, my bad, Tyson. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just had fun, bro. It was just a good time. Nothing but fresh air and opportunity out there, and I try and take advantage of all of it. Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, that's a wrap. Hey, my guy back there, you got to work on your questions.
think I forgot.
Rob, congratulations on a pretty incredible victory. I guess I imagine it's all smiles right now, but how are you feeling after something like that?
I'm just cheesing, bro. I'm just cheesing, man. That was fun. Wild 3 minutes for sure.
Yeah, we said going into it, I think everybody knew, like, you two guys, the styles were going to match up. It was going to be wild. But did you expect it to be, that kind of 100% right away and just go into the mix?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how not to get into something like that. I believe he's the same way. I like to say I want to stay calm, and it just never happens. So it's like it felt good to be back. Big W. I'm just all smiles right now.
Nice. But so you didn't get out of there scot-free, got a little damage as well. How did you think the fight played out? I mean, what he brought to the table versus what you expected? I know you had a lot of respect for him, but
yeah, I knew he was gonna be quick. I felt he was gonna be quick. I knew he was gonna have that, like you said, that boxing style, go to the body, big shots and all that. Just wanted to obviously, wear him down if I could. I did try to grab him, trying to get on top of him a little bit, but it just didn't work out. And then just got right back to what I was doing. That didn't work, so let's get back to that jab.
I think this is a fight a lot of people thought you needed to win to really make a statement. So I guess, can you talk about just the importance, like the emotion, I guess, of tonight of making a statement like that?
Yeah, man, I needed that, man. I needed it for the team. I needed it for me, needed it for my family, and we're back.
Love it. Last thing for me, there's a whole bunch of interesting matchups for you at the top of the division. Now you prove that you still belong there. Give us the idea. You had a year away. Is it let's turn this around quickly? Is it take some time off? What's the plan?
I would love to do Figgy versus Font, man. Figueroa, I would love to introduce him to the 35 division. I think that'd be a fun fight. I think, I like fighting big names. I definitely don't want to fight backwards, but I think me and him would definitely be a great fight.
Right in the front. When Chris Rodriguez was in here, he beat Raul Rosas, another young fighter who had a lot of hype. I know you don't consider Adrian young, like you said at Media Day, but he said entering this, he felt like he had something to prove against Raul. Did you feel the similar situation against Adrian?
I want to say I had something to prove against Adrian. I think I had something to prove for myself. Obviously, I think I needed that for myself. I needed to remind myself that I'm still here. I'm still that guy. If I get going on anybody, that's exactly what's going to happen to everybody.
And Joe Rogan on the broadcast said that the damage under your eyes and stuff, he thought it was from the years of fighting, catching up to it. Maybe you damaged easier or you bruise easier because of all the damage that you've taken over the years. Is that true, or was it Adrian that was actually hitting you with shots?
Man, that dude was throwing bombs, man. What are you talking about? He hit me with a bomb, man. So, obviously, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I had more damage on this side than the other side, but he caught me with something quick early. I didn't even necessarily see it either, and he hits hard.
The broadcast also made it seem like Adrian was kind of agitated at his coach, saying something, yelling at his coach. Something. Did you hear him saying anything in there after the fight?
I didn't hear what he said, but I saw it. I was like, I know he's not saying that was an early stoppage. I seen his eyes roll back like twice. If anything, I was like, ref, what are you doing, man? Save this guy. But I don't know. That sucks. I don't know what he thought. I don't know.
Rob, I know that you believed going into the fight that you were still that guy, but now you know. So is it relieving to kind of match the belief with the factuals?
Yeah, 100%. I obviously losing to Cheeto and all those sucked, and I needed to bounce back. Again, like I said, for myself, for my team, for my family, and to go out there and do it on a big pay-per-view against a dangerous guy like Adrian, it was just. So again, I'm all smiles, man. I just can't stop cheesing. It's a big night, great night, and on to the next one though.
What would you say are the biggest things that you want to add to your game or work on after suffering those defeats? What is it? What does the Rob Font 2.0 look like?
I'm just trying to steal a page out of George St. Pierre's book. Just I want to just consistently get well rounded. I want some more finishes. It's been a while since I finished a fight. I want some more takedowns, some more just being well-rounded everywhere,
And what about that Figueiredo matchup interests you? Just that he's a former champ? Would you like
former champ? He's exciting. I know he's going to talk a lot of shit. I think it'll be a great, entertaining type of fight, and I think I need another big name like that.
Thank you, and congrats.
Hi, Rob. Thanks for representing Puerto Rico in UFC, as always. before this fight, you said, "Bet on me if you want to make some money." Did you felt slighted that maybe you were being used as Yanez stepping stone?
I wouldn't say that. I think people saw more into how I lost the last two fights, and they were probably, banking on that my chin's gone, and all the stories everybody writes. But like I don't want to get hit, but like I showed that I can still take it. Obviously the goal is to never get hit, but yeah, I think it was more of people banking on that I wasn't gonna be able to last with this guy.
One second question. You just asked for Davison Figueiredo. Perhaps you and Figueiredo in Puerto Rico.
Let's go. I would love to. That'd be awesome. Let's go, man. I appreciate you guys.
Gilbert, congratulations.
Joe, I knew it was going to be you.
Yes, sir. Congratulations. I mean, obviously an impressive performance tonight. How are you feeling after that victory?
Feeling great. You know, I was really looking forward for a finish, but I think it was a good fight. You know, I tried to put on a show every single time. I was really, really looking forward to a finish. Hit him with the good shots. Took him down a couple times. If I'm not wrong, I had 3 takedown attempts, and I finished all 3. And a lot of wrestlers didn't do that. You know, like a lot of guys, high-level wrestlers that he fought, having trouble taking him down. I didn't. And I think I showed a lot of improvement. And that guy was freaking slippery. That's a old dog Miami trick with the lotion because he was so slippery. Wow.
Obviously, you dominated the last 2 rounds. Kind of a slow start in round number 1. Was that by design, or was that just kind of the way things played out?
No, not at all by design. I want to start putting a lot of pressure, but I speak Spanish, and I was listening to his Paulini, his coach, and he was whenever he get closer, you hit him with uppercut with the knee, and then I kind of felt a weird trick, and he was kind of listening to that, and I was just like trying to fend him, trying to do a couple feints to see if he throw it. It was just a weird distance from the beginning, and then I'm like, shit, and I hate that I have a slow start. I want to start pressuring, putting a lot of pressure in the beginning, be a little bit more aggressive. That would change the results. You know, if I put a lot more pressure, maybe positive, maybe negative. We'll never know. But yeah, I would love to start a little bit more pressure.
Yeah. You're not used to getting booed a whole lot, man. So I mean, you were the enemy all week long. I guess what did that feel like going in there and having the crowd trashing you in there?
It feels great, to be honest. It does feel great. I love that energy. I love the fans. The guy's a freaking superstar right here, bro. I gotta respect. I gotta give that to him, you know. And the guy, 52 pro fights, bro. That's not for everybody, you know. I respect the hell out of this guy. A warrior on my eyes, and plus the street fights that doesn't count, you know, the backyard. So yeah, a lot of respect to this guy.
Nice. You called it, you know, title shot. I mean, you know the welterweight title picture as well as anybody. So how do you see this thing shaking out? I mean, do you think you're going to have to stand around and wait for a while, or there's going to be a fight? Like, what are you thinking?
I almost chased a done deal, Kobe, in Lyon, in London, if I'm not wrong. It's almost a done deal. Everything, just a little details. I'm going to be a backup. I'm going to. I'm not asking. I'm demanding that I'm going to, because whenever they ask, anytime the UFC gave me a call asking for a opponent, I say yes. And now I'm demanding that I'm going out there. I'm going to do my training camp to 5 rounds. I go to London. I'll be the backup, and I'm the next online. I'm not online. I'm next in line to fight for the title. And otherwise, let me go, my guy. Let me do my thing, you know. These guys making $1 million here on the other organizations, you know, step up. That's it. I'm fighting. I'm a backup for the next fight, and I'm fighting for the title next.
Gilbert, right here. When you said that Jorge felt slippery in there, do you think he actually had something on him?
100%. I do believe. I know those old tricks those guys do. You know what they do? They wake up on Sunday and they take the first shower and they pass a lot of lotion on the body, and the lotion goes like the skin absorbs the lotion. And then you do that. After 3 hours, you do it again. And then after you do it again. And then after you do it again. And your body observes. Whenever you start sweating a lot, for sure he did that trick. 100% he did. I'm telling you, I'm not, maybe not. 100% he did. He was so slippery. Whenever if you guys have watching the highlights or try to see, you're going to see like he's bright. His skin's bright. That guy, I gotta give it up to this guy. The guy has all the tricks.
Do you think if he wasn't slippery, you could have finished him?
100%. I didn't feel him strong at all. I saw a lot of little details that he does good. He has a couple good answers to get up. But remember, he gave a lot. I'm not even gonna say names, but he fought a couple high-level wrestlers. He lost those. I had 3 takedowns attempts, and I finished all 3. Whenever I get on top, he didn't got up. I think he got up one time. But that's it. I dominate the guy on the floor. If I have a less lotion, my guy, if I had a little bit less lotion, I think I could get it done.
Bilal Muhammad was also in here. He was speaking with us, and he seems to think he might want to fight Kamaru Usman next if he can't get the Colby Covington fight. If you were telling like what do you think Bilal should do next if he doesn't get the title shot?
To be honest, I don't like what I was doing. I was kind of trashing Bilal a little bit, but the guy deserves a shot too. You know, we're both in the marathon trying to get that title shot, and yeah, I think he's doing his thing. He just gotta fight the next guy, and I think he'll be right there. Me on him. I'm already demanding. I'm not fighting anyone. If you not give me a shot, let me go. That's on my head right now. I've been fighting anyone, anytime. You guys know already. I don't need to be the anyone, anywhere, anytime. You guys know I've been fighting. I'm willing to fight anyone. I'm demanding a title shot, or let me go, bro. I'll do my thing, you know. And I think Bilal Muhammad is right there too, you know.
You would be willing to go if you don't get this title shot, or if you're the backup?
Yeah, let me go.
Gilbert? Going into the third round, did you think you were ahead, or you weren't even thinking about that?
I think it was close, but I had a lot of energy going to the third round. I said, you know what, I don't even care. I'm just going to try to finish. Even if I was winning, I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to try to finish. Like I said, I want to finish so bad that I'll keep chasing that.
Dan, I noticed that you were toe-to-toe with him in the third round, but then with about a minute left, then you decided, I'm just going to go for the takedown, and you did it. Was that because then you figured, all right, I got the fight, or was it because of the lotion that you mentioned that you weren't going to do it until later in the round?
That too, but I kind of saw that I hit him with the hard shots, and the guy was kind of knocking down, came back. He was taking. I thought maybe ground and pound would do it. So, and in that too, those judges are crazy nowadays. They cannot. I don't know what they think sometimes. So, I need to be a little bit more, do more damage, be a little bit more. The way I see the fight is, if the fight it's close, those judges, I don't know what they're gonna do, right? So the way I see, I gotta convince everybody, the judge, the guys at home, the media, the fans, everybody that won the round, and I think that takedown in the ground and pound at the end, he did it, you know, he did it.
And lastly, from me, do you also think too, with the hometown crowd, that could have swayed the judges a little more too if it was coming to that?
Maybe those judges, they gotta investigate those judges. Jesus.
Gilbert, you know, your brand has always been, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, any given time, but now we're seeing a change. You're demanding this, that you're the next title contender after, you know, Leon and Colby do their own thing. What's changed?
Change that I'm not getting any younger, my brother. You know, and being willing to fight anybody and literally fighting anyone didn't give me that. Now I demand it. Give me that or I don't care.
Yeah. And who do you think would win between Leon and Colby?
It's a good fight. I gotta stop and take a look at that. I do think Colby wins. I don't think it's gonna be easy. He's gonna get kicked a lot. He's gonna get hit a lot. Leon is big for the division, long. I think way better striker than Colby, but maybe Colby with that pace and the wrestling, he might get it done. But I think Colby against me is an amazing fight. I think on the striking I have advantage. I do believe, and on the ground it will be so nice. I cannot wait for this fight.
Yeah, and Colby has obviously, you know, his whole brand started by going to Brazil and saying, you know, everything that he said. I know you're a pretty chill dude, but you are Brazilian, right? Is there anything there that extra, besides wanting to fight for the belt, that you would like to get your hands on Colby?
Not really. I know he's just doing his thing. And like I said, same thing with Bilal Muhammad, with all these guys. I'm not gonna push no one of these guys down to elevate myself. I think they're doing their own thing. I respect every single one. Bilal is almost there too. Colby's there already. He doesn't deserve. It doesn't matter. He's there now, you know. So I'm not here to judge these guys. I'm here to do my job, and I want to fight for the title. And I don't. I hate to say I want to fight for the title. I want to win the title, and I want to get the title. That's what I want.
Thank you and congrats.
Thank you.
En español, un poquitico. ¿Qué significó para ti pasar a la historia como el hombre que retiró a Jorge Masvidal en Miami? Y si ¿Te sorprendió que Masvidal durara los 3 rounds contigo?
Estoy contento, pero no sé, porque ese ahora retiró. Si estoy contento que gané, estoy contento que todos en Miami tienen un respeto para mí ahora, pero ese es uma lenda para mí. Ese peleó durísimo, 52 peleas, y estoy contento que así un poco de una parte de su historia, pero estoy que como se retirou-se agora, estou contento que não ha ido um nocaute ou uma submissão, retiramos com uma pelea duríssima, pero sí, creo que esse seja muito feliz, pero sinto que esse não vai pelear, sinto que não acabou ainda.
¿Tú crees que va a continuar?
Não sei,
O
pero,
al menos boxeo por ahí. O...
pero creo que esse é peleador nato, não, a mim não creio que esse é para de pelear, esse é um peleador para sempre.
Gracias.
Gilbert, you said anyone, anywhere. In an event where you don't get that title fight, would you be willing to run it back with Kamaru again?
100%. 100%. If I really need to take a fight, I would be so mad. I would be so mad if they make me do another fight. I don't think I will do it, to be honest. But unless they say, hey, Kamaru or Shimaev, that's the true rematch that I'm dying for. That shit, okay, for this you will say yes. But other than that, no. Give me a title shot or I'm out.
Mic drop on that one.
Thank you, guys. I like it. If I knew I would do it before. Have a good one, guys.
All right, guys, the fight of the night went to Curtis and Gastelum, and performance of the night went to Font and Israel. They all won $50,000. The attendance tonight was 19,032, sold out, highest grossing event in the arena history. The gate was 11.9 million, sixth highest grossing event in UFC history. And there's a new sheriff in town, ladies and gentlemen. It beat MSG's last gate. Miami beat Madison Square Garden. Last gate there was 11.5, and it was the same fight. So, unbelievable. When you think that last time we came here, we did a gate of 446,000. and now we just beat Madison Square Garden. So I've been saying this all week. Miami is like Miami reminds me of LA 10 years ago. This place is booming. I'm sure you felt it when I'm sure a lot of you are from here, but those of you that aren't, I mean, every restaurant is packed till midnight, 1 in the morning, people out in the streets. It's just like, this place is as cool and as hot and as incredible as ever. It was a really, I'm glad we came here. It was a cool experience. John Morgan.
I was going to say, so when you said at the press conference, hey, we'll be coming back, I mean, do you think this is like an annual type destination for you now?
Yeah, we're in. We're coming to Miami. This place is such a different place than the last time I was here. Obviously, I'm assuming a lot of this was built up, during COVID and all the stuff that went on here. It's just this place is at a whole nother level. It's incredible.
A lot to talk about with the featured fights, but I just want to ask you real quick about Chase Sherman. Do you have an update on his condition or exactly what happened there?
No.
No. Okay. Fair enough.
He got sick. He was, sapping a couple times, and I think he ate something bad, is from what I heard. Don't quote me though, because I don't know for sure.
Right. Fair enough. Obviously, amazing result in the main event. Israel Adesanya champion again. Thrilling second round, especially. I mean, just tension. I guess talk about the fight overall, what you thought in that win.
Yeah, I mean, it was an absolute war. Israel Adesanya, I was saying this coming into this fight. I mean, this guy never turns down a fight. When it came time to fight Pereira, he was ready. Let's do it. I want to fight 3 times. I only want to fight the best. He lost. He was ready for an immediate rematch. I mean, this kid is, and people were asking, in interviews leading up to this fight, do you think he's messed up mentally and do you think he's in his head? And I did not think that, because listen, a lot of these guys, a lot of shit is talked in public, like, oh, I want this fight, and then behind the scenes, it's a whole nother ball game. Israel Adesanya is not that guy. Israel Adesanya will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, and the guy likes to fight 3 times a year, even though he has the belt. A lot of these guys get the belt and start making that really big money. I'll fight 2 times, then it goes down to 1 time, and you know how it goes. You've seen it, but not this kid. He's special. He's different.
Emphatic victory tonight. What do you think? I mean, a great rivalry between these two, right? It was a great storyline. Is there unfinished business now? Like, do they need to do it again to settle the UFC trilogy, or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think that Pereira probably moves to 205 after this fight. He's a monster, I know that he still had like 2 pounds to cut leading up to, there was like an hour left of the weigh-in, so, and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's moving to 205, but I would assume he is. You guys can ask him himself, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Co-main event, Gilbert Burns came into enemy territory, got an impressive win. He was here just before you and says, hey, I want to be the backup for the next title shot. In fact, he didn't say I want. He said I demand. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Normally, you like attitudes like that. I
love that.
Do you put him in that position?
Yeah, I love that. Why not? Deal. You got a deal.
Gilbert got it done. And then I guess last thing, I want to ask you about Kevin Holland. I saw that he was talking to you. I mean, no surprise, he's talking to you during the fight, after the fight. But it just seemed like a weird week all around. That kind of didn't want us talking to him about other fights. Well, I guess what happened with Kevin Holland? What happened to him?
Well, the reason I didn't want you guys talking to him about other fights is, guys, we're fucking 2 days before a fight. He's not fighting Jorge Masvidal. Whatever they got into, first of all, it creates shit backstage and at the hotels, right? When you guys ask them questions like that and they say something, we still got 2 days until the fight, and these guys run into each other backstage and everywhere else, and it's so disrespectful to their opponent. There's an opponent sitting up there that they're going to fight. And I just hate that shit. I get it. You want your fucking clicks or whatever it is you guys want to get, your little fucking moment that you can post, but I will fucking attack you if you do that. You know what I mean? It just causes a lot of bullshit backstage and at the hotel. And, but it's like the time the stuff went down with Diaz and all those guys and Hamzat. These guys have fucking 20, 30 guys backstage. And just that shit just can't happen here. And you guys can't instigate it.
What was he saying to you tonight?
Crazy shit. I mean, I don't know what he was saying. He was yelling at me, and I don't even know what he was saying. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Trump looked at me and said, "What's he talking about?" I said, "I don't know. Is he talking to me or talking to you?" And I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, he's had a crazy week. He's been acting a little crazy this week.
Data, going back to Israel, you mentioned that he's kind of special, right? And he wants to fight as often as he can. But you've dealt with a lot of guys who are different mentally in the history of this sport, right? You've got people like Conor and all these who are kind of like artists. But in terms of mental strength, to be able to fight a guy who's beaten you 3 times, do you think Israel might be on another level of just self-confidence?
Yeah, I just think, you meet some of these guys that are literally true fighters. They're fighters, and that's what he is. This kid loves to fight. He loves to prove himself. He loves to challenge himself. And he's a very unique guy, very unique.
Yeah, I mean, even knowing already the celebration he was going to do, like seconds after he knocked it out, like having that stuff already pre-planned.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys should really, has he been in here yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys should really dig into that one. I mean, how mentally strong this kid is. And like you said, like he believes in himself so much, and he's willing to test himself against a guy who's beat him 3 times. You know what I mean? And he comes out tonight and knocks him out viciously.
Yeah.
It's just pretty awesome.
Jorge Masvidal appears to be done with the sport. Obviously, that's his decision. And whenever you hear a guy talking like that, it usually means the end is near. But he's also a fun guy like Nate was, where you can put him in big fights and he'll make big money for himself. Would you like to see him walk away, or would you be happy to see him stick around?
Yeah, no, listen, as soon as you think about retiring, you should in this business. And he's made a lot of money. He made a lot of money tonight. And, he's got things outside the octagon going on, too, like Conor does, and some of these other guys. And I think he's proved everything he needed to prove to himself, and he's changed his family's life, and why not?
Is he an example for younger fighters that are like, hey, your career might be going one way, but if you have one good year or the right fight at the right time, if you take it, you can change your entire career?
Oh, that flying knee changed his life. You know what I mean? When he threw that flying knee, it changed his whole life. And yeah.
Last one from me. I've always been curious about this. Donald Trump was here watching the fights with you. What sort of fight fan is he? Is he like a guy who wants to see a brawl? Does he want to see a technical back and forth? Like, what was he sitting there saying to you?
So this guy calls me twice a month and will talk to me for an hour about fights that have happened, since the last time we talked. And he knows everybody. He knows, what they did and who they fought last. And he's a huge fight fan. Loves this stuff.
Who's his favorite fighter?
3 guesses.
Conor.
Huh?
Conor?
Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal.
Should have probably guessed that.
Yeah. Masvidal and Covington.
Dana, what would you like to see Raul Rosas go from here? I know he had a lot of hype, and then he kind of ran into Christian Rodriguez. It just looked like a grown man fighting someone that might have been 19.
Yeah, it happens. He's a young kid. I had that 2 rounds to 1, and he's got a lot of growing to do. He's got a lot of work to do. People love him. This isn't as damaging to him as nobody really goes undefeated in this sport. It's very, very hard to do. But he's just got to get back in there, get back on the horse, and keep going.
Bilal Muhammad was in here too, and he said he would actually be interested in fighting Kamaru Usman next if he doesn't get a title shot or a backup shot or anything. I know you said you were interested in booking him against Shavkat in London. Is that still the plan with Bilal?
To do what with him?
In London, you said you were looking at Bilal versus Shavkat. Bilal was in here saying he'd actually be interested in fighting Kamaru because he's the only one ranked higher than him in the rankings.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah, the other fight is the fight that we wanted to do.
He also said that he actually asked to be the backup in London, and it ended up being Colby Covington. Was that true?
I don't know. But if he said it, then yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's not lying.
Did you see his shirt out here?
His what?
His shirt? That he was wearing out here? Hello?
No. What
it was Colby Covington with a broken jaw.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's been crazy around here lately.
Your Africa dream is back now with Izzy becoming a champion. How is that coming along? Because I did speak to some people in Africa the last time we spoke, and they are building a facility in Nigeria.
It's huge. That's what we need. We need some real infrastructure over there to go over there and pull off, a fight like tonight. But yeah, I mean, I've made it very clear that I'm focused on that. We're building the PI right down in Mexico right now. So once that gets done, we'll start looking. Lawrence, when will we start looking in Africa?
Well, we're looking at Dakar, Senegal, which has a new arena. Thinking about that.
There you go.
Yeah, the Dakar Arena.
He's the guy who sends people out to start looking. He's the guy that found the place in Mexico, and he's the guy that will find a place in Africa for us.
Yeah, the Dakar Arena is like 12,000. It's hosted a bunch of events in the past, so yeah.
Perfect.
Kevin Holland. At this point, don't you have to upgrade security? First, Hamzat, now Masvidal.
We have.
I mean, like,
nobody got in a fight, did they? Till you guys started trying to start shit and get stuff going, right? I mean, nothing happened. A lot of yelling at each other and stuff like that. But the thing is, you got to understand, these guys are grown men. So when Holland left the press conference that day, I told the security guys I want more security on him. And they told him when he got off the stage, you know what he did? He ran out the back and left by himself because he doesn't want security. You know? These are grown men, and we can do as much as we can do. Yeah.
Last one from me. Africa has had 3 champions in the past. Now we have one back. What's the next thing for Kamaru Usman? I know he probably has to work his way back to the top again. What's like the next thing you might have for him?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know yet for Kamaru, but we'll get him figured out soon.
Dana back here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Dana over here.
Yep.
Oh, how you doing? Congratulations on another great night.
Thank you.
With the success of the Miami card and New York card, do you look at your people? Do you talk at your people? Say, hey, we got to open up our calendar a little bit more and come back to Miami more, come back to the New York market more. Like, what's this an indication of?
Well, I don't think I need to tell anybody at the office that we need to come back to Miami. I think everybody, first of all, it's just such a great place to come. I'm sure those of you that came in town this week had a blast like I did. And, like I say, 10 years ago, L.A. was the greatest city in the world. And I look at Miami now like L.A. was. This place is booming, man. This is a really cool city. Tons of great restaurants, hotels, et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, when I opened this thing, there's a new sheriff in town now, man. I mean, this thing was looking like it was going to be right behind MSG in Vegas. It beat MSG. So we definitely made the right decision. And now we'll figure out when to bring it down here again.
Cool. One more question. So I actually wanted to talk about the Endeavor deal with the WWE. Anytime you can get Vince McMahon and Dana White on the same depth card, that's 1992 Dream Team type stuff. So what's your thoughts about the deal, and what are your thoughts about WWE and UFC congraining this sports and entertainment conglomerate?
Yeah, I like the deal. I'm very supportive of it. I knew that they were working on it a long time ago. And Ari's super respectful like that. Ari wanted to make sure that everybody was good with this before we move forward with it. And I think that Ari is going to bring a lot of value. That doesn't change anything around here. There's we had Brock come over here. We had Ronda go over there. That's all. If that's ever possible, if guys leave here and they love wrestling and they're good enough to do it, before this deal, we would have been good with that. But what's going to happen now is Ari's going to add a ton of value to WWE, whether it's sponsorship, licensing, and a lot of other things that he can do when he touches the business. And these two, the UFC and WWE, will become their own stock. We'll have our own ticket. They're talking about, I don't know how much I can talk about this. I should shut the fuck up, actually. My lawyer is shaking his head, yes. Yeah, we're really happy about this deal, and we're looking forward to it.
One more, actually. With Donald Trump in the audience, obviously, when you first bought the UFC, Zuffa, when you got the provisionary license in New Jersey, Trump Plaza, he hosted you guys. Now, all these years later, you see it, and now it's a huge conglomerate worldwide. Like, how cool is it that your friend who, was helping you at the beginning, now is a part of it, and now is watching it as it's grown to a mega sport?
Yeah, I say it all the time. I mean, when we did that first deal at the Trump Taj Mahal, you got to remember, and it's hard for a lot of you to even think about this because of where the brand was at that time and what it meant. But he saw it, he got it. He cut us that deal at the Taj when we went there. Got there for the first fight of the night and stayed there till the last fight. And he did it both times that we were there. And tonight, he got here tonight at 7:30. He's here at 7:30, and he stayed till the last fight and then left. He loves the sport. He loves the fights. And like I said many times, he's been an incredible friend to me.
Thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana. Joe Pyfer, he didn't get the bonus, but he's been nothing short of spectacular. Great Contender Series and his 2 fights, spectacular finishes. What are your thoughts on his performance and where we go from here?
And he spectacularly beat a real guy tonight. I mean, that was a great performance. He didn't win, but, you know, I'll take care of him. And who was the other kid that we were going to I brought him in the back, and we're going to take care of him too. Yeah.
How important was this victory for Calvin Gastelum? Because he had that injury, he lost that fight, he had to come back to this. How important was this for his career?
Yeah, he's a dog, you know, and he fought tonight like the old Calvin. You saw him go in there and go to war. And, you know, he comes back, he wins fight of the night. It was a big night for him.
Not to be overlooked, when Donald Trump came out, you had Kid Rock. I don't know who planned the choreography, but you had the music going on, him next to him. Who synced that up? Because that was perfect.
There was no choreography. I mean, it just, we were all back there together. I'm good friends with Kid Rock, too. So we were all back there. We're all friends, me, him, and Trump. And we walked out, and the DJ played American Badass, you know. There was no choreography whatsoever. The show was about to start, and we walked.
Well played.
Thank you.
Dana?
Yep.
Welcome back to Miami.
Thank you.
I was one of the few there way back when for that show, and just to see tonight, it was amazing.
Thank you,
Crowd,
sir.
Electricity. I'm just curious, what do you think over those 20 years has helped grow MMA and make it so big here? Because it was dead back then.
Well, 2 things. Well, you know, it wasn't dead. That was we were just growing the sport and the brand at the time. But Miami isn't the same place it was when I came back then either. Like I say, this is a completely different city. This is one of the most powerful cities in America now. It was not what it is today. Like, I keep referencing LA, because when you think of LA 10 years ago, it was probably one of the, if not the coolest city in the country. Not so much today. Miami is on a whole nother level, man. This place has boomed. So if you look at the growth of the UFC, the growth of Miami, it was the right time to come here, and we were right. We had other options, and we looked at other options, and we pulled the trigger on Miami, and we're all very happy that we did now.
And with that said, you were here in Sunrise, Fort Lauderdale a few years ago.
Yep.
And that show did fairly well.
No, they were very good for us too.
Yeah. So did that help too in making the decision, or not really?
If you look at what we've done in Florida since 2020, and again, going through COVID, we had Florida and we had Abu Dhabi. So, you know, we've been bouncing around here and doing well because of what the mayor did for us up in Jacksonville. Yeah, we're going back again. That's our last. Thank you, sir. We appreciate everything you've done for us, and we're going to go back there and give them another event. Florida was very good to us, and tonight was amazing.
And then lastly for me, I know you don't want to talk a lot about it.
And I can't not talk about, not say something about your governor, too. Another guy who was incredible to us through, you know, COVID and everything else, and who also takes a lot of credit for how kick-ass this state is right now, too.
American Top Team, Kill Cliff FC, even Masters MMA Miami. How has that helped, too, in the growth of this area for MMA?
Again, credit to Dan Lambert, a guy who has spent his own money to not only take care of fighters, but, you know, create world champions and essentially help build the UFC and the sport.
And lastly for me, I know you don't want to talk a lot about it, but UFC, WWE still will be 2 separate companies doing their own thing and not merging per se or anything like that.
Right. No. It's you know, they're going to do what they do. We're going to do what we do. The parent company and Ari will help them in a lot of ways that they know they can help them. Some of the things, as much ass as WWE is kicking, there's a lot of things in that business that can be tweaked and can make a big difference. Not to mention the fact that their rights deal is up. So their television rights are up, and when your television rights are up, there's nobody better than Ari Emanuel.
Dana, just straight ahead here.
Yep.
Who are the transports to the hospital tonight?
Did what?
The transports to the hospital?
None.
No transports, okay.
Yep.
And there's been a few reports that the UFC are coming back to London in July. Can you confirm that? I'm guessing that's a yes. Will it be a fight night or a pay-per-view?
I'm working on it, and I want it to be a pay-per-view.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it'll be Colby Leon if that is the pay-per-view.
When I talk about Florida, let's talk about London now. London has been incredible to us, man. It's been amazing. The fans over there are amazing. We're supposed to have a fight night in July. I want it to be a pay-per-view. So there's a lot of internal shit that needs to be worked out, and I'm working on it.
So thank you.
Yep. Go ahead, sir.
Rob Font just knocked out Adrian Yanez after a year layoff, and he asked for Davison Figueiredo when Davison makes his 135 debut. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I mean, the big win tonight for Rob Font, man. That was huge, impressive. The fight was a war, and yeah, tonight was a big night for him, man. I don't know if that's the answer to your question, but big night for him. I mean, huge.
With Endeavor buying WWE, WWE is having an event in Puerto Rico May 5th, SmackDown, and then they're having the pay-per-view on May 6th with Bad Bunny as an associate. Those two events in the 17,000 Puerto Rico Coliseum got sold out in a week. Perhaps UFC may consider finally coming back to Puerto Rico.
I'm all about Puerto Rico. I've talked about Puerto Rico a lot when I talk about building PIs. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no, yeah.
And what about that PI?
We're doing Mexico right now. We got to get that one. But PIs aren't cheap. They're expensive to build, man. We're working on Mexico now, and then we'll get our shit together and figure out what's next. Because we're talking about opening one in Abu Dhabi. I want one in Puerto Rico, and I would love to have one in Africa, too.
Thanks.
Yep. It's going to take time, though.
Here, is there an update on John Jones?
As far as what?
Like, what's next for him when he...
John Jones came out, made quick work, and poof, disappeared, man. He went back to whatever he's doing. He's ready to fight. He wants Stipe, so we'll get it figured out.
And that's definitely the fight Stipe is next?
That's the one he wants. Yeah.
And just a couple quick ones with Masvidal retiring. He's not entirely retiring from combat sports in the sense that he is doing his own thing as a promoter with Gilbert Boxing. Just curious, what do you think of the bringing MMA guys into boxing? What do you think of the show, the promotion?
I actually watched the fight. It was I liked the undercard. Thought the undercard had good fights. The other thing that I was impressed by with them is that they actually had good production. When you watch a small show like that, right? One thing that you have to understand whether the production's good or not is how fast the replay comes. They were right on top of the replays. The replays came out fast. They did a damn good job with the production. I was impressed with it. And the thing that I don't like is 50-year-olds fighting. It's just not my thing, man. So the co-main and the main, but the rest of the card was fun. I mean, Jose Aldo and Jeremy Stevens was an awesome fight. And then the boxing fights, the kid that was undefeated, I think he was Puerto Rican actually, right? Yeah. That kid that he fought didn't just show up for a paycheck. That kid showed up to win. It was a great fight. I liked that fight too. And yeah, I had fun watching the card. I was home Saturday night, didn't do anything, and I watched it.
Nice. And I know a while ago you spoke about having some interest in maybe going down the boxing route. Is that still up in there or no? What does that smile mean?
We'll see.
Okay.
Hey, Dana. It seemed like all the answers for Rosas in the first round, and then he had a bunch of questions in rounds 2 and 3.
Who's this?
Rosas.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about his performance?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
the problems he encountered.
They were tight. This kid was obviously, there's this thing with 18-year-old strength and 25-year-old man strength, and the other kid was a really good grappler. So, like I said, this kid has a ton of room to grow. tonight was a good experience for him, and that's what this sport's all about. And he was 7-0, but it's very, very hard to go undefeated, and especially when you come into the UFC. And as young as this kid is, just if he was right in there. I had it 2-1, and yeah, he'll get better.
Okay.
He'll get better.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Hey, Dana.
Yep.
Here, please. If Poatan decides to stay in the middleweight, will he have the trilogy? Yeah, Poatan.
Well, I was saying to him earlier, I would bet anything he moves to 205 after this fight.
Yeah, but you approve the trilogy? Like, if he wants to stay in the middleweight, it's like to.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what he decides after that. I mean, the fight just happened 30 minutes ago. I don't know. We'll see.
Dana over here.
Dana,
Yep.
you've mentioned the PI in Mexico several times during the press conference. Do you have a window when it's going to open?
March. When's the PI opening in Mexico?
September this year. And I know you mentioned a couple of weeks ago that unfortunately Mexico isn't in the plans for 2023. What is the reason for this? It's been 4 years since the last visit for the UFC to Mexico. Is this like an issue with the arena, maybe the promoters down there? Why is the UFC not going to Mexico this 2023?
Got it. As the world starts to open up now, there's a lot of other places that we got to go. But you're not wrong. I mean, for the first time ever, we got 3 champions. Why did we not do a Cinco de Mayo fight? Why did we not do this? Why? We're fucking it up. That's why. We're fucking it up. We're trying to fix it.
And lastly,
We're making a lot of mistakes right now, and I know we are, and we'll get our shit together. I promise you.
And lastly, can we confirm that Yair Rodriguez is fighting Alexander Volkanovski in International Fight Week?
I cannot confirm that, sir.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey, Dana. Hey, Dana, right here.
Hey.
Quick question. You're talking about all these other places. How about Canada? Toronto, Montreal?
We're going to Vancouver.
Awesome. Any timelines for that, or?
Yeah, we're going. Huh? Yeah, June.
June? Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Dana over
Yep.
here.
Where have you been? We announced that 2 days ago. Are you Canadian?
Dana over here. A few events over the past few years with WWE and the UFC have combined on both days, and I think this is the same event with 288 and Backlash. Are you guys going to talk with WWE and Ari in regards to making sure that doesn't happen in the future?
Well, I also think that anytime that we ever went on the same night, our fan bases are completely different. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a ton of crossover with the fan base. So it's not like it ever hurt us. Yeah. But maybe we won't. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but I don't think it makes a difference.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
If anything, what I've started to notice is when you have these type of things on the same night, you make more people stay home. And maybe people will watch both or whatever the deal is. Israel's here. You guys done with me? Go ahead. What do you got for me? Okay.
Just one last question, Dana.
Yeah.
About Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Besides fighting business, Gilbert, he speaks Spanish, Portuguese, English. He's good with media. His social media is increasing. Do you see himself in the future as one of the biggest stars of the company, maybe one of the face of the sport in the near future?
Well, he's the #1 ranked guy in the world. He has all these things that you say, and he's one of the nicest guys ever. And if he has to dog it out, like against Hamzat, like when he goes in there, that guy's willing to go toe to toe and do anything. So yeah, I mean the way this guy fights and all the other attributes he says he has, yeah, he could be a big star, especially in Brazil. You guys done with me? Go ahead, sir. What do you got?
There's a big boxing fight in a couple weeks. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis. I
Yeah.
just want to get your thoughts on the fight. And these two young guys are, going at it. The boxing, we haven't seen two boxers in a while get a big fight like this. Just your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's very few good boxing fights out there. This is a good one. This should be fun, and that's a fight I would definitely watch.
Who do you think will win the fight?
Huh?
Who do you think will win the fight?
I have no idea. I mean, Gervonta's a bad dude, and Ryan's gonna, he's unproven yet. This is his first real big test. So if he can go in and pull it off, it's a big deal. But I'll be watching, even though De La Hoya is involved with it. Thanks. Have a good night, you guys, and thanks, Miami.
I tried both.
Right. It's 2 o'clock. I got an after party to go to. I have obligations, so no fucking generic bullshit questions. Ask me some real shit that'll make me want to answer you. If not, I'll just go next.
Well, the outpouring of emotion that we saw in the cage was pretty special from you. Can you put into words?
It real. I meant every word I said. Like leading up to this fight, if I didn't know me, I wouldn't believe in me. Fuck, this guy already beat this guy 3 times. Oh my God, how's he gonna do it? And I told you, I'm locked in. I'm coming for the kill. I'm hunting. So I did that. And I just wanted to show people the power of the human mind, the human spirit. What you can do no matter what, no matter if they count you out. I watched too much anime, seen too many montages when the guy, Rock Lee, gets knocked down and has to fall. Guy Sensei has to fight back up and then fight through adversity. You never stay down. Wasn't it Rock? Even Mike Angle was playing Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the house all week. So I know you get knocked down 7 times, get back up 8.
But as mentally strong as you are, were there any moments along the way where it creeped into like a little bit of doubt creeped in? You thought maybe this guy just has my number for some reason.
That's human. I guess that's the human animal. It normally happens, but I just know myself. You know yourself. If you know yourself, no one else can tell you who you are. So I'm able to shut that out real quick. Most people just can't do that. They let that negative self-talk sit in there and starts to weigh down on them. But I've been through too much in my life to be able to let this kind of thing weigh me down. So whenever that little dirty tries to creep in, I tell it to shut the fuck up, and I keep going.
Tense opening round, tactical. I know you said you wanted to put the pressure on him. How did you feel about the first round?
It went quick. I was surprised. I thought it was 3 minutes. But yeah, I was on, bro. I was fucking on from the get-go, and I was hunting him down, and he wasn't comfortable with that.
Was that a decision on your point to really turn it up in round 2? Obviously, the volume increased quite a bit.
I just knew I could hunt him down. Every time I fight this guy, first fight, second fight, third fight, I always have him in the early rounds, and then I just give him enough room to breathe so he can come back in the later rounds. So this time I said, I'm not giving him room to breathe. I'm going to suffocate him. And yeah, I embraced the dark side. I embraced the darkness so I could show him the light.
Nice. Last thing for me. No, you said you were not thinking past this moment at all.
I'm not thinking. I literally
Have you let yourself start
no,
thinking yet?
Nope. I'm still drinking. I ain't thinking.
Izzy, obviously this week with the engaged stuff, there's been a link with yourself and Muhammad Ali. I know that's one that you've loved throughout your career.
Yeah.
Is it cool that you had your own rope-a-dope moment? You're against a big punch, you lean back and fire the right hand.
The possum. So I'll tell you, he's fucking good with those leg kicks. And I was like, again? Literally, I think in the first round, I was like, fuck, again? He can't catch my leg. It was so quick because I was ready for it. I was ready to catch him. And he's so sneaky with that. I'm going to learn that off him, actually. But then, I changed the tactics up a bit. And I listened to my corner, and I trusted my instinct. But there was a moment when I was visualizing this fight, I was like, if I get the chance, or when I get the chance, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, phantom punch, would I just let him slide? But I was like, nah, fuck that. He wouldn't have done the same to me. He'll fucking come for the kill. So the honorable thing I could have done was put him out of his misery. Yeah. And after that rope-a-dope moment, I saw him lying flat on the ground, frozen like Elsa.
You also obviously had quite an emotional celebration where you fired not 1 but 3 arrows into him. I wonder if there's a significance to there being the number of 3 arrows. And then I'm sure you sort of motioned someone in the crowd and took a little dive.
Oh no, I'm petty, bro. I remember. So the first time he knocked me out in Brazil, his son came into the ring and then started to just lie dead next to me, and I'm like, you fucking little asshole. I'll whoop your ass if your dad don't do it for you. But then, I looked for his kid, and I pointed at him, and I saw him, and I was like, hey. Just to remind him. I saw him backstage. We're cool. He's a great champion. He's a warrior. He is his story, bro. I mean that. I'm the antagonist in his story. He's a fucking beast, man. Coming from where he's come from, the adversities he's been through in his life to get to where he's gotten now and taking me out the way he has. It's a fucking beautiful story for him. But like I said, tonight, it's not about his story. It's about my story, which is history.
If this was an anime, that kid now becomes a fighter and comes...
Bro, I'm... Hey, man, if you can crawl, we can brawl.
Couple more questions. What was the significance of the blue shorts? Usually we see you in green on Champions Cup.
Bro, next time it might be fucking pink shorts. You know me. I'm a colorful guy. I think it was 16th March. I texted Tim. I was like, I want the blue shorts this fight. Tim was just like, okay. It just made sense to me because I was like, I'm going to be in the blue corner. I was like, I don't want to wear something that doesn't go well with it. So, you know, last time was green shorts, red, they're complementary colors. Trust me, I know art. So, yeah, blue shorts, blue tape around the wrist. It made sense. And then I started to channel Nipsey a little bit. I kept on saying, everyone else can stay on the sidelines they used to. Because when it's time, I'm frontline every time it's on, nigga.
And last one from me. Traditionally, right, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, it's 1-1 in MMA. There should be a trilogy.
I don't keep score. I settle them.
But I'm gonna
now
say-
it's settled. Look, I gave him a fast track to the belt. You know, I could have said, nah, fuck no. Who has he fought? Like, he fought one top 5. Nah, but, you know, he did well. Fought some all right guys and beat the fucking Strickland. I was like, okay, fine. There's no one else. But also, I was looking for that challenge. The guy that beat me in kickboxing, I was looking for that challenge. That's why I took that fight. The rematch, I got the immediate rematch because of what I've done in this game. I won the belt against Kevin. I defended against Rob, Romero, Costa, Vittori, Rob again, Cannonier. That's 7. My other belt will have 7 fucking gems on it, you know? So I did the hard yards, and I earned my fucking rematch, you know? Now he's got to do the hard yards if he wants to do that, but I don't think he's gonna because he... Go cause problems at 205, and fuck, good luck to everybody else, because he's a motherfucker to deal with. I'll tell you that.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Oscar.
Israel, over here.
Okay.
You're trending on Nigerian Twitter right now.
I should be.
Yeah, definitely.
I want people me. I want to do me.
Yes, Israel Mobolaji Odunayo, Oluwafemi Temitayo Owulabi Omo Adesanya.
Tell him, say.
You're an African champion again.
Look, the 3 kings still exist. Even like I said, with Poitin, no matter what, he's always going to be a champion. A lot of people will try and like write me off and like, oh, you're not the champion anymore. But I was like, bro, they still call me champ. And I'm still a champion. I still carry myself as a champion. So Kamaru Usman, Francis Ngannou, they're still champions. They're always going to be champions no matter what. Once a champion, you're always a champion.
Sport is one thing that unites us in Africa. We had an election recently, and all the three major tribes were factioned. Tonight, you were uniting people. Nigerians were talking about you. The same people who were arguing and fighting each other just last week were talking about you. Talk about how important
Israel, Bumaye, Israel, Bumaye, Israel, Bumaye. Look, fuck, I don't want to give this nigga no clout. I don't whoop that. I want to whoop his ass so bad. I want to do it in South Africa or Nigeria. And but he's got to do work. He's got to do something. Show me something so I can whoop that ass and I can show you history. I'll remind you, because you got to choose your words wisely when you speak on people that have come before you. People that paved the way for you. You got to pick your words wisely. You want to try and be a big boy. You want to bamba. You want to G with the big boys. You got to choose your words wisely. But I don't want to give him no clout. But if he does work, and I pray to God he keeps winning, I will gladly drag his carcass across South Africa. Wallahi.
You have bambaed on him now. Obviously, you're having a Jack and Coke. I'm sure you're not thinking about your next fight, but you like to fight 3 times a year. When do you think would be the time?
I'm not even thinking of nothing like that. That's the last question, but I'm not thinking of nothing like that right now. On my dad me, I've been doing jeje. I've been a good boy, so now it's time to be a bad boy in Miami.
Did Brandon Marshall?
Mother's milk, please. Can I have another one?
Hey, Izzy. Ike Feldman with NBC Sports. Did Brandon Marshall reach out to you yet?
That's my dog. Yeah, he put 100K on me, but I told him, look, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Drizzy, shout out to everybody else that bet on me, but you have to realize every time I step in that octagon, I put my life on the line. That's the biggest bet on this line. That's the biggest parlay you can make, is put your life on this shit, because a lot of people don't come back out when they step in there. You know, I don't know how long he was out for, but again, I left him frozen like Elsa. He could have stayed frozen, but I'm glad he melted and came back to life. But yeah, honestly, I'm a betting man too. So shout out to Steak. We're about to make another deal, and yeah, run that shit up. More money, yeah, get more money, get more money.
Your post-fight words were electric, talking about being in that moment. If anybody could just experience just a fraction of that.
I meant that, man. How happy I feel right now. I hope people can feel this level of happiness just once in their life. But I really mean that, because honestly, I talk to people every day, and it's like, bless me. Yeah, they're so defeated, you know? So I just want people to feel happy, but I just feel like you're never going to feel that unless you go through the adversity, you go through the trials and tribulations, you know? So, yeah, I really meant every word of what I said.
And my last thing, my friend is in a group chat there saying, when you were in that moment, it was kind of reminiscent of the previous fight where you're against the cage. Are you able to remember what you were thinking in the moment? Like, I'm not going out like that again?
I played possum. I knew my leg was hurt, so I went southpaw, and I was like, I can't keep getting kicked in the leg like this. I was like, he's just fucking good at those leg kicks. I can mimic them, and I've hurt him in the legs as well, but he's so good at them. But then I knew, I was like, this is it. Possum. And then, yeah, I set traps, man. Put him in the genjutsu.
And do you believe in cover jinxes? You were on the cover. You lost. I don't know if you saw this.
I won
EA
when I was
put
on the
him
cover. No, when I was on the cover of the EA, I won. I won that weekend. I shot the cover with Masvidal that weekend.
My bad.
And I won. I beat the Drake curse. What did I say? What fucking curse? What I did, you know, I'm a spiritual person. My family always praying for me. My parents always fasting, and they got my back as well. And yeah, we got it done.
Israel in the front.
Really, if I sit down and really immerse myself, I can study. I've done it before, but I just didn't fucking have a publication. But when I was a fan of this game, I studied everybody coming up. BJ Penn, Tyson Griffin, Sean Shirk, you know, Rashad Evans. I can run numbers on what UFCs this happened. Even there was a moment, there was fucking Rashad and Machida linking up, and I was like, oh shit, behind the stage. And I was just like, UFC 98. What? Oh my God. And you made me not like you anymore because you beat my boy, da-da-da-da. But then, yeah, I can do your job, trust me, but I'm doing my job, so just remember that.
Last one for me. I have to ask why you chose Headstrong by Trapped.
Because the words, back up, I take you on. Headstrong, I take on anyone. The words spoke to me, and me and David were on the way to the airport, and it just came to me. I'm a vessel, I tell you. It just comes to me. And yeah, I fuck with that track. That's an old one, and I haven't heard that in years, and I was like, this is it. This is the track. And yeah, I think Jeff caught the moment on camera as well. It'll be on my documentary somewhere.
Israel, right here. Quick question. Love the Jitsus. References to Naruto. Last question. Done with Alex or anything left there? Or on to the next one?
It's done. I don't settle. I don't keep scores. I settle them. So it's done. He's had his story. Now it's my story. And I've closed that chapter. And again, I'll move on.
Where's the after party?
Roll.
Yeah, Izzy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of turnover among champions like over the past few months with like Kamaru, you, Valentina. Like, why do you think that was? And then how does it feel for you to kind of regain the belt back?
That's the game. But also, I'm an active champ. I'm always fighting. I'm always. I've got less than 20 fights left in this game. I'll be honest. Is it? When I was in China in fucking 10 months, I fought 24 times, but that was China. Yeah, oh, fuck, 20. Shit. Okay, maybe 2. Did I speak too soon, Tim? My bad. Oh, no, I meant like, as in like 20 fights in this game. I just, so I know like, I'm going to tick off. I want to fight different heads, different people. I don't want to fight the same guy again and again. I'm like, fuck, that's boring. And now I finally beat him, so if I didn't beat him, then fuck, I'll go again. But I beat him, he's beating me on the big stage. So now it's, yeah, cool, we're done.
Just two quick ones real quick.
Yeah.
What felt better, winning the title for the first time or reclaiming it?
Hey, man, they say it doesn't feel as good as your first time, that first nut. I'll tell you one thing. it feels even better the second time because you get to do it again and again and again and again.
And Dana White said that it looks like Miami is going to become an annual destination. Just wondering, how did Miami treat you? And
Miami
is this,
loves me. It's not my first time here. I was here in 2015 to help Rumble Johnson. Rest in peace to a great man. I was here to help him in 2015 for his fight, and Miami showed me a good time. I'm back here. I've been working, but now it's time for me to show Miami a good time. So I got to roll. I'll see you guys at 11 in Miami. I appreciate you. And don't take offense to what I say. I don't take offense to what you say. I know you have a job to do. Some of you I'm cool with. Some of you I really don't know. So please don't take offense to what I say. Type what you have to type. If I ever fuck up, be honest. Talk the real shit. No matter what, I will always take it on the chin because I'm a fucking champion.
on the victory. I guess, what are the emotions now? We saw right after the win, your coach, Safe, was running around picking you up, yelling, underdog, underdog. So what are the emotions?
Man, it feels good. I don't mind being the underdog. I make a lot of people a lot of money, so I'm happy. I know my boyfriend told me he put $1,000 on me, which I wish he wouldn't have told me that, but he owes me a very good dinner. I'll tell you that.
When did he tell you that?
Like a couple days ago. I think I was like a plus 400 or something like that. So I was like, I love it. I love it.
We have to talk about the first round. How close were those rear naked chokes that you got?
Those chokes were deep. I'm not even gonna lie. But coach gives me great advice, as everybody knows here. If I'm in a bad position, fight to get a good one. And I'm not a quitter. I'm gonna continue to fight and fight and fight until either the curtains go out or I get out. So I'm not gonna tap. I'm just gonna get out of that position. So.
We could also hear your corner out there, like they were yelling, like she's gassed, she's exhausted. How, like, going from the first into the second beginning, you could just tell right away that she was out of it.
Yeah, I knew the chances of me winning were going to double and triple if I go into the second and third. She's every fight that she's been in, she's gotten out in the first round. So I knew she wasn't going to be used to my pace, and two, my gas tank. So that just is my like ace in the hole. I'm going to play that until I meet somebody else who has a gas tank like I do. So
the final one for me, I guess, when do you want to return, and like what do you want the rest of your year to look
that's up to coach. I'm always going to say yes, and whatever he says goes. So I'm just, he's the pilot, I'm the co-pilot, and we're just running this plane until we can't anymore. Or actually, no, until we have that belt strapped around us. So yeah.
Because obviously, the last two rounds are clearly yours, but I'm wondering if you were thinking, oh man, was that first round potentially a 10-8? Could this be a tie, or were you convinced that you're like, no, I've got this?
Yeah, part of me thought it could be a 10-8 round, but you just have to keep going and keep fighting and make that second round the best you can be, and the third round the best it can be. So I knew the pace that I was putting on her, and she looked like she was in a lot of trouble. She looked like she was kind of drowning in the second and third round. So I just knew I had it, whether it was a 10-8 or not.
Your gas tank is obviously very good itself, but when you see your opponent clearly withering, right, in the third round, her legs are so heavy, does it just almost amplify what you've already got?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of funny. I fought her teammate, Estella Nunes, in that fight. I saw Estella take a very deep breath, and then I knew I had her. And then after coach said, in this fight, she's gassed. I was like, okay. Now my confidence is ramping up. So it feels good. Cardio's 50%. And coach always tells me that. So you got to manage the controllables. If you can control cardio, then by God, you should be fucking working cardio like a madman. And that's what I do every single day.
Did he teach you the F-bombs that you keep dropping tonight?
Maybe. Maybe. Sorry, coach.
You mentioned that in the camp that you really ramped up your wrestling. Is that where you felt like for this particular fight, or is that just something in general that you thought that you really sort of needed to bring up?
Yeah, you guys saw in the Pereira fight that I got taken down, I think 5 out of 10 times. So I worked with Charles Bird, and he just told me that, hey, you got to be defiant. You got to have a little chip on your shoulder, and just don't be mad if somebody takes you down. Like, be really, really upset. So I had that chip on my shoulder, and I got taken down twice in the first round, which is my mistake, but again, I'm just going to continue to work on that. And for the 5 months after the Pereira fight, I just worked wrestling. And, Monday I'm going to go back and work wrestling and continue to grow and continue to get better. And I deserve to be here. And I think I proved that tonight, in front of a crowd, in front of everybody. So I'm happy to be here. I love to fight. This makes me so happy. So I'm going to continue to do what I do in that octagon.
Kind of playing off that, there were times where you got to the ground where obviously that was probably where she was more dangerous out of the game. You could kind of hear your coach saying, stand up. But is there a part of you that wants to show the growth, wants to show the impression, that you've improved and stay down there and maybe finish her on the ground?
No, I have no ego in there. If coach is telling me to get up, I need to get the fuck up. But she was stronger than I was thinking. She was very strong, had very good head control. So when she wrapped the body lock around me in guard, it was very difficult to get up. And I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I should have gotten up. I should have done the steps that I needed to do to get up and get out. But yeah, she was a lot stronger than I was expecting her to be. But that's okay. We're just continuing to work and continue to grow.
Last thing for me, was there a lot of hands in the gloves going on out there? It seemed like we were hearing and seeing some of that, but we couldn't quite make it out on the TV.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of funny because in the first round, I heard her yell to the ref that my hands were in her gloves, and then and they weren't. But then after that, she kept putting her hands in my gloves. So I was like, well, maybe I don't know what her thought process was, but definitely they were in there. So that made it a little bit more difficult, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to use excuses. I just need to work and I just need to get to a better position.
Back here. Over here.
Oh,
hey, how you
hello.
doing? Congratulations on the win. You're improving fight after fight. You can see the improvements. What's next for you? Do you want to stay active for the remainder of the year, or what's next for you?
Yeah. My mom always said, idle hands are the devil's playground. So I love to be active. I just want to keep training. I just want to keep fighting. As active as coach wants me to be, that's as active as I'll be. But I'm going to continue to be in the gym every single day. So whatever that means. I know that he's going to talk to Mick and then we're going to figure out what's next, but I'm just happy to be here. Yeah.
And with you winning your boyfriend so much money, what presents does he owe you now? What are you entitled to?
A lot. All of it. Probably.
All of it.
Yeah.
150% of it.
Definitely.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Steve, from right here. First of all, congratulations on that victory. Obviously, didn't really go your way in the beginning, but you turned it around. So I guess what are the emotions now that the hard part and the fight's all over?
I think you kind of just said it, man. You just got to kind of let what happened, and you just got to run with the punches, literally. And so, I got caught. I think it was right hand. I don't know. I was being dumb. I guess my head was there. So, once we got down, I was able to kind of just clear the cobwebs and just kind of work from there. Kid's tough. Kid's very, very strong. I knew he was gonna be strong. I didn't expect to get hit with that shot, but I just knew, I was like, as long as I get back up to my feet, I always have a chance. Even from the bottom, like, you're always gonna be in an uncomfortable position with me. Like, I'm gonna try to hit you wherever I can. And I think that was kind of bothering him a little bit too. And it's just, I wanted to kind of just beat you everywhere. You might have hit me, but I'm still here and I'm still punching you in the face. So that's kind of where I went with it.
And even when he was walking out the broadcast, like you mentioned, like they just kept talking about how strong he was in there just from his past fights. So when you did get in, when you were finally in there with him, was he stronger than you expected? Like when you locked up, could you feel like the strength in there?
No, but I honestly had a very high expectation of him being strong because I think that was his biggest attribute coming to this fight. His striking's okay. His wrestling's really good, but honestly, his key is to really just keep you in the positions that he puts you in. So, like whether it's on the back, like he keeps you on your back, and he knows how to do that pretty well. And I felt the strength in there. Same thing against the cage. Like I know that's where he's strong at. So, I had really big guys, and including my brother, who's a big dude, just hold me against the cage. You know, try to just hold me, and I just was work up and do those things. So I felt I was prepared.
And the last one on the punch that dropped you, was it just like you were out of position, or did he make you do something that was out of position, or was it just a complete mistake on your part?
It was kind of more of a mistake on my part. I was trying to just kind of ease into it a little bit. I was trying to get my jab going. I was trying to do a couple of different things. And I might have lost focus just for a minute because I thought I was out of range, and I just kind of didn't think that he was going to hit me, you know, and I was really wrong. So, yeah, he got me.
Well, then you clipped him with the left hand right at the end of that round, too. Did you see that opening coming, or did you just capitalize it in the moment?
Yeah, I saw that coming. My coaches saw that coming. We kind of talked about it. Before the fight, we saw what might be there, and that was one of them. We just had to just set it up, and second round it came.
Was the body shot that dropped him, was that also what you had game planned for?
Yes, sir.
The last one for me, I guess. What do you want the rest of your year to look like moving forward?
I don't know, man. I set up a cruise for my wife. She sacrificed a lot for her birthday in September, so we're gonna do that. And if we want to get one, you know, before that, maybe in August, I'm down. If not, we're gonna have to wait till afterwards. You know?
Where you guys going?
We're going to the Bahamas. So that was our honeymoon. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna go back kind of, but just on a cruise way. You know. Thank you, sir.
The commentary team was kind of talking about his power and what he was going to be, and it looked like they were waiting for him to drop these big shots. But then in turn, you dropped the biggest shots when it came to the striking. Do you feel some people maybe are not giving you enough credit for your striking?
It's not really my call. I just know what I'm capable of at the end of the day. Like, God's given me a bunch of attributes, abilities, and it's up to me if I want to use them. I know I can put some chingazos on some people, man, and I can hurt them. But at the end of the day, I just do what I do best, and that's honestly hurt people, be violent in there. And I feel like I was able to do that today. A little hiccup at the beginning, but we got it done.
Speaking of that shot, I guess the little hiccup, how quickly did your head clear out after that shot? Was it pretty quick?
A couple moments. Yeah, it was a couple moments. As soon as you hit the mat, you're like, okay, that wasn't good. So then you work from there, and I was good. You know, I was just kind of letting, because he was at that point, he probably got excited, thought he was going to finish me after that. I'm never out of the fight. As long as I have breath, I'm never out of the fight, and I'm always going to keep trying to figure out how to get back up to my feet and win it. And I think that kind of showed today.
You know, I know it's just been a couple, moments since the fight's been over, but, going back into, I guess, the gym after this, what sort of things are you setting for yourself that you have to work from this fight? Are there things that you noticed in the fight that you could have did a little bit better that you maybe weren't so happy with? And what were you the most happy about with tonight?
Honestly, like I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like I couldn't tell you. I don't remember a damn thing that happened in there. It's just chaos in there. You know, it's very fast paced in there. All that I was happy about is that we got the win, and we got it in a spectacular fashion as I always expect it to be. So I just hoped everybody enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it now that it's over, and we're good to go. Congrats. Cool.
Yeah, I know you fought at bantamweight, featherweight, and obviously lightweight. Is featherweight the one that you're going to stick at now?
That's the one, man. That's the one. All right, thank you guys. You guys have a good day.
But tonight he has a massive opportunity against a